Well, we've turned the mics back on, and this is Radio Entrepreneurs. I want to thank again all our listeners who have been tuning in, and it's been great. And my name is Jeffrey Davis. I'm CEO of MAGE LLC, management consulting firm, and also host of Radio Entrepreneurs. Our next guest, here's the big test, Adriana Kopinja.
You did it.
Woo! Owner, Precious Photo.
The Precious Photo. Now, actually, I just changed the name to Adriana Kopinja Photography.
Okay, great. Well, tell us about Adriana Kopinja Photography. Wow, I don't usually get names so good.
You did a fabulous job. So a few years ago, I started as a maternity and newborn photographer. And that's why it was the Precious Photo, because everything about maternity, everything about
precious.
babies are precious.
Right.
Last year, I got a studio, so my portfolio started expanding to other genres. And one of them is portraiture, modern portraits. I see you looking at the magazine that I brought here, and this is a portrait of a mother with a baby.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. So the way I look at portrait is, and why I got into this whole thing with portraits is, first of all, I'm trying to get people to think about getting off the social media walls and putting their images, their portraits on actual walls in their homes. There are a lot of homes that have empty walls, but they're social media walls are filled with images.
That's correct.
So, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to go old-fashioned, going back to framing pictures, going back to showing the best version.
I have pictures all over my house and thousands in my computer. So I do both.
You do both.
Yes.
But most people have thousands in their computers, and very often they don't even know what they have in the computer.
Right.
What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to show the best version of themselves right there on the wall. When they walk into the house, I want them to see we are good. We can make it, whatever the day was. Was it a good day? Was it a bad day? I really want them to see that it's okay. It's okay. We are good. Either it's a family, either whether it's a portrait of a woman who just went through divorce, or a newborn portrait like this. With newborns, it's a little bit different, because it's not about how we feel now about portraits. It's about how this little baby girl will look at this image of her mother holding her as a newborn in 20, 30, 40 years.
In 80 years, showing it to her grandchildren. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Very beautiful. So let's go back in time to how your career and how it evolved. What did you start doing?
It's a funny story, because my father was a crime scene photographer back in Poland.
He was a crime
scene photographer. So there's a long way from crime to newborn.
Right, a lot
portraits.
of accuracy for him.
So. As a child, I always carried camera. His darkroom was my playground. I never saw any crime in my life, pictures. But he
wouldn't show you the pictures?
He wouldn't show me the pictures. Plus, it was small town crime, so it was, stolen bike and such. But I would definitely be around darkroom cameras. We used to photograph family weddings and those kind of things. So when I came to the States 17 years ago, at some point we had our baby, and that's the first time after a long time that I picked up my camera and I started photographing my baby. And 12 years, my older daughter is 12 now. The newborn photography wasn't a thing yet. Now it's blooming. Everybody with a camera, whoever has a camera, everybody is a photographer nowadays. So my approach is different. I want to make sure that people who come to my studio are not stressed about being in front of the camera. Most people don't know what to do. Most people don't know how to behave in front of the camera. So I'm trying to take all the stress away from being in front of the camera, being photographed. So the way I design my session, we talk about what's the look that you're going for. We spend time on an old-fashioned phone. We actually talk over the phone. It's not just emails, sharing emails back and forth. We design a mood board. So I know exactly what the client is looking for and what she or he doesn't want me to do. Then we meet actually for a consultation, and we sometimes I go to a client's home. Most of the time I actually go to clients' homes, and we go through all the clothes that they have, so they don't have to spend money on the new stuff for the photo shoot, because everyday client doesn't know what photographs well. It doesn't have to be new clothing. It just has to be something that photographs well. And then once we have that all set, we have few outfits, whether it's for the whole family or just individual. We always have a plan. And when client comes to my studio, I have a makeup artist, I have a stylist who will do hair and makeup. So another level of stress is taken off the shoulders. And none of my clients are actually models. But what I hear mostly after the photo shoots is that, oh my gosh, is this me? I look like a model, whether the client is size 0
your
or
cover
size
of your
22.
book is dramatic.
I like drama in my pictures. Thank you very much for
Very
noticing.
dramatic.
I love it. Thank you.
So, it sounds like the apple has not fallen far from the tree. Your father, as a photographer, was photographing something that already happened, that had probably some negative element to it, and you're taking pictures of what I would call a positive future, in a sense.
I do.
Did your father ever? Is he alive? Does he know that you're a photographer?
Yes.
What was his reaction when you reconnected with what he was starting?
So now it's the question that I hear from him is how? How did you do that? How is it even possible to get this expression? Because what I'm drawn into is connection with the eyes in my portraiture. And he didn't have to do that. If he had somebody who committed a crime in front of him, it was not about expression. It was about something totally different. I'm looking for the connection in pictures. There's connection with mother and the baby here in this image. If I'm photographing a woman who was...
Well, they're sort of like one because they're sort of wearing the same
That's all strategic.
Yeah,
this is all designed before we even come to my studio. We have a plan. We know the look we're going for. And it's not easy being, 7 days after C-section, coming to the studio and looking beautiful. So it's all planned ahead. So the mindset is there. We know how long the session will be. And like I said, I'm trying to take all the stress off of being in front of the camera.
We've been speaking with Adriana Kopinja of Kopinja Photo. And
you did it again.
if somebody's looking for you, how would they find you?
Adriana Kopinja Photography. And that's pretty much it. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Please come and find me.
Thanks for being on the show today.
My pleasure.
And continue to do positive imagery. Great.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break. Remind everybody, this is Radio Entrepreneurs.